Jim and OC Motorcycle here, and this is something I've been waiting for years. This is the brand new 2023 Tiger 1200. Now, we started hearing about this about 2 years ago when the 900 came out. The brand new 1200's coming, all hush hush, secret. It's going to be an awesome bike. And I've been riding a Tiger 1200 for 3 years. It's my daily driver, and I love it. So when I heard that, I was stoked. Now, they were first supposed to come out last year, 2021 springtime. They were supposed to come out, but they postponed it for a year because of the T-Plane engine. Now, the T-Plane engine in the Tiger 900 was so popular that Triumph decided to go ahead and reconfigure the motor to include that T-Plane firing sequence. It's kind of unusual. It used to be that every time the crankcase would go around one time, the engine would fire off, skip, fire off, skip, fire off, skip. But with the T-Plane, what it does is the first 2 times that crankcase goes around, that fires off a cylinder, boom, boom, it pauses, boom, pauses. So it's boom, boom, pause, boom, pause, boom, boom, pause, boom, boom, pause, boom, boom. So there's this great torque at the low end, which is awesome for off-road riding, but it gives that engine a little bit of a vibration, a little bit of a growl that's unlike any other bike you've seen. So we're gonna pull it out front, jump on it, ride around, talk about some of the changes. So we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so here we have it. Now, there's essentially 2 different models for the Tiger. There's the GT and there's the Rally. It comes in 2 different versions. It's the GT Pro and the GT Explorer. The main difference on those 2 is a bigger gas tank. So the GT Pro has about a 5-gallon gas tank. The Explorer has about an 8-gallon gas tank. It's got a couple extra things on the GT Explorer. It's got blindside mirrors, it's got heated seats, so it's got a couple extra in that, but for the most part, there's either a street version or there's an off-road version. So the street version has an 18-inch wheel, the off-road version has a 21-inch wheel. Now, if you guys know me, I don't ride this big of a bike off-road. I'm strictly a street guy. So for me, it's the GT model. But from all of the different reviews and all the buzz about the new Tiger 1200, it's the off-road version that's really getting a lot of attention. So for that, I'm gonna bring my son in here because he's an off-road guy. He's been riding his Tiger 900 off-road for about 1.5 years now. This is Jimmy, my son. So he's gonna talk a little bit about the Rally version and the different things that it has to offer.
Yeah, so what I love about this bike, I've been on this bike for about 1 year now, and not only did they drop 50 pounds from that bike, but they also lowered the engine. And so what you're gonna notice as soon as you get on these bikes is the flickability, how agile they feel despite their large size. I dare anybody to hop on a GS and do this on the Tiger. They're gonna notice that difference right when they get on the bike. And so this is the Rally Pro. The other thing I really like about this bike is the rider triangle while standing up is just perfect. The handlebars aren't too far forward like they are on the GS. They're not too far back like they are in the Pan American. And it just gives you a real comfortable experience. And then the agility really begs you to put it to its paces off-road.
So new for 2023, like Jimmy said, they've taken off about 55 pounds, and that was the first. I've had about 300 miles on this. I haven't gotten any long rides yet, but the first thing I noticed on this bike was it doesn't feel big. It feels like a tiny little bike, and I was blown away at that.
There's not even really that much difference between the 900 and the 1200.
Don't interrupt me. Just kidding, yeah. So that was, first of all, you sit on it and you go, holy crap, this thing is light and it feels small. My other Tiger 1200, it was a big bike, and I kind of got used to that bulkiness and stuff like that. The second thing you noticed that I noticed on this was the quick shifter. This thing is butter smooth. I had a quick shifter on my other one, and it was kind of clanky, and it wasn't real easy to use. This thing is like butter, and
the quick shifter is great off-road too, for when you're out of position. You know, we don't ride like we did when we were 20. You'll be out of position at some point, and not being able to just like throw it into that right gear without having the right body position to shift and do all that is just fantastic.
So I'm out of position even on the street. At any rate, so it's got that brand new 1150cc engine. This is the same engine that's in the Speed Triple RS and the Speed Triple RR. Phenomenal. That's the first thing when I got on this bike at first, it was like, holy crap, this is nothing like my other bike. And it took me, I mean, it's like, ooh, I don't know if I like this because I've been riding that other bike for 3 years. That was like an old pair of pants for me. So the first thing I'm going, holy crap, I don't even know if I like this. But the more time you spend on this, the less I was interested in my old bike, and the more I love what Triumph has done on this new Tiger 1200. The other thing that I noticed was the Stylema brakes. These are the top of the line Brembo brakes, and this thing stops on a dime for a bigger bike. And I think for me, an old guy, safety is super important. A couple other things they got the Tri-Link swing arm right here. It's a strong design, really good. Of course, it's got the shaft drive. It's about 150 horsepower. It's the most horsepower of any shaft drive bike there. And I love the 7-inch TFT display. Triumph is very great on their display. The interconnectivity they have is just second to none, I think, in the industry right now.
I love the way you sit in the bike. If you've ever been on the KTM 1290, you feel like you're sitting on top of the bike and you're kind of surfing on top of it. This really sits you in, so I love that you both have that sit-in feel when you're going on road, but when you pop up, you still have that nice flickable feel of a dirt bike.
So I think that's about it. You got anything else to say about these, Jimmy?
I just love them. You got it. The only thing I tell people is just come try it. I mean, it's gonna blow your mind, and you're gonna really see the hard work that Triumph put in making these really phenomenal bikes. Yeah. So come in, we'll get you in one of these, and you'll have a great time.
All right, let's go ride it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. You know what I think is awesome about this bike? One of the big issues of the older Tigers was the heat that was coming out from the engines. And it's something that was definitely a factor, and I just learned to live with it. Just something you dealt with. Triumph really spent a lot of time and engineering on this to make sure that the new Tiger 1200s wouldn't have that same issue. You can feel a little bit of heat, but I can tell you right now, it's nothing like the old bikes. Love the quick shift, and this engine is just butter smooth. There's one thing I kind of miss on this bike right now, and when I was back in Atlanta, they said that there would be no aftermarket pipes for this bike because there's a valve built into the exhaust that opens up as you give it more gas. It's a little quiet even for me, and I'm an old dude and don't like loud noises. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some aftermarket pipes that are going to be available. But this is a game changer, I think, and I love it. I'm buying one myself, and I'm going to own it for a long time. So can't say enough good things about this bike. Thanks, guys.